NP?
It's inflation, isn't it? I can't help it.
You know what you can do, don't you?
All right, 5 then.
Get this guy out of here, or I'll warm you up in the backside. Mind, love. Ta. Flipping kids.
They're a plague, them kids. They want throttling.
They want to do away with Guy Fawkes.
They did.
I never heard about it. They're always talking about it, but they do now.
He was hanged, drawn and quartered, was Guy Fawkes, about 1,000 years ago. And the bits that they had left, they either burned it or stuck it up on railings. Oh, they did away with him, definitely.
You're still a sort of little self, aren't you?
Well, you know me, Stan. Always cheerful. Even if it is the 3rd time in a row I've had to change my night off. I mean, what does it matter? I have no social life, so to speak of. My life revolves around this pub. It's just a living death to me any time I'm not behind this bar. Oh, aye.
I'm sorry, Miss Lynch. I didn't realise it was such a great inconvenience. Now, merely say the word and I'll cancel all my arrangements. I'll put Mr. Beaumont off. You only have to say the word. And how are you, Mr. Ogden? Feeling quite well, I hope. Now, I must inform all my long-lost relatives, high or low, that if they want to look me up, they must suit a time that will be right for the convenience of my staff. I'll put it in the paper. I'll take half a page.
All right, Mrs. Walker. Have a nice time, won't you?
As long as I have your blessing, Miss Lynch. Bye, Eck. It's a good job I know where to look, isn't it?
You're looking to find me. I've just come in.
They've only just opened.
Cough, cough. You've not bought anything from Marianne's Fashions by any chance, have you, Hilda?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact.
I bet you wouldn't show us what it was, even if we twisted your arm.
Oh, well, it's only a little dress, not special, you know. I just happen to have some spare cash.
Go on, then.
It's for winning the competition, you know, the second honeymoon prize.
Tell me, Hilda, do you think it's going to be any better second time round?
Well, how would I know? First time round with the biggest non-event in history, and second looks like going same road. Although, mind you, I did get a bit of brass with this one.
That was spending money.
Correct, so I've spent it.
Hey, Hilda, that's a very nice frock, is that?
Well, of course it's a very nice frock.
No, what I mean is, who helped you to buy it?
What do you mean?
I keep telling people you get some smashing bargains at that thrift shop. No, honestly, Hilda, it's lovely.
Let's just leave a bad pub where a man can get a quiet drink, not Miami modes. Take it home.
I want a quid off you.
What?
For the chippy.
You had 25 quid in your purse.
I had more than 25 quid, but not for your tea.
Oh, well, it's worth it. Get rid of it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Got a very gracious way with him, I'll stand.
Marvellous, isn't it? She goes around in posh frocks. And I've come down to chip butties.
Chip butties, you love them. They caviar to you.
Caviar a bit wasted on you.
Yeah, so will that frock.
Hiya.
Hi.
Oh, it's all right, love. I'll shift it. Just give me a minute, will you?
I didn't say no.
Is there a cup of tea?
No, you'll have to put kettle on.
Oh, do you ever have your hands like go all numb?
Circulation, that.
Right. Been like that all day. They look like bits of potato.
I've got doctor.
Well, if they go dead all the way up to the elbow, happen I will. Fancy a cup? Hey? I said you fancy a cup?
Flaming thing.
Hey, hey, hey. What's that about?
Well, why won't it go right?
Mind your finger with that needle. Now, what they do to you, eh?
I'm sorry, Ray. Just go away a minute.
How can I go away?
Just go and make your cup of tea. It's all right.
It's not all right, is it, love? Now, come on, tell me. Why do you feel like this?
Oh, it isn't anything.
Oh, don't be daft.
Not
Come on.
being daft.
Well, what's the matter?
Nothing. Oh, just go and make your cup of tea.
Now, look. You've been like this for... Well, it's going on, love. It's time you went to see the doctor.
Okay. I don't think I've got you anything in for your tea when you go round to Rena's.
Okay, but see the doctor, will you? He'll just give you a little pill and everything will be fine.
I'm all right, love. I'm not going round with flaming pills up to here like a junkie. It's that bloke, innit?
He's the one who's funny in the head. He's the one who wants to see the doctor.
Yeah, well, that he will, but you can't let it ruin your life, love. In fact, I sometimes wonder if in some ways you haven't turned against me.
Oh, I can't explain it, but it's not that.
Well, it works out like that, doesn't it? In some ways.
I don't think you could ever understand unless it happened to you. Of course, it's not going to, is it? Because you're a fella.
Well, I'll have to look after myself, that's all. Mrs. W's off on the razzle.
Oh, with a posh friend.
Aye, we're in marine insurance, you know.
Oh, yes, I know. She wasn't in all that long, but I know enough about him to write a book. He's one of the Beaumonts.
Off Clitheroe.
Ravioli.
Just the job, really.
It's wonderful, isn't it, ravioli? It comes all complete in tin, a bit like baked beans, only not as boring.
I like it.
Well, of course, mind you, Archie Beamish was a fella.
Archie what?
Well, you've never heard of Archie Beamish? Oh, he was very well known round here. Kids at street used to sing a song about Archie Beamish, you know. I reckon he was the only fella that had a name that would rhyme with squeamish. But he was well known as a domino player.
Hey, well, you must be going back a bit, though.
Oh, I am. I'm going back into legends now.
Hey, fancy a game tonight?
Yeah, we were just talking about it.
Right, I'll be there.
Righto. Well, up now Ken's doing notes, so we'll make a 4.
You're on.
See you.
Come on.
Because, mind you, our Ken isn't what is exactly known as an educated domino player. Well, don't let me stand in your way.
Oh, you're not holding me up. Carry on.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm here all night.
Well, isn't that what you want, Albert?
No, I never followed you in.
I followed you in.
Well, you great big daft lump.
Oh, you have some room to talk. Sorry about that, love.
Sorry, love.
Okay.
After you, Albert.
I can play dominoes, you know.
We've already got a 4.
Just thought I'd go through and put myself a tin of something on, Mrs. Walker.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you not make up your mind?
Now, you're a man, Fred.
Like to think so.
Well, which?
Well, as you say, I'm a man. Both suit me.
You don't think they're a little on the formal side?
Well, no, as I say, either.
You know, Fred, my entire wardrobe, such as it is, tends to the formal. Maybe too much.
Well, if you ever go to meet Her Majesty, you won't be scruffy.
No. You see, what it is really is the aftermath.
The aftermath? I thought that was an Irish boozer on a Sunday morning.
It's the result of my term of office, you see, when I had to have a new outfit for every day of the week of the month, practically.
Well, you would, Mrs. Walker.
But now, of course, you see that I'm free of that responsibility, thankfully, well, I don't want to go everywhere looking like a lady mayoress.
Oh, I'm sure you don't, Mrs. Walker.
But I do want to put Charles at his ease.
I'm sure you do, Mrs. Walker.
Well, seeing my prince has mislaid his white stallion again. I think he go to badminton.
Oh, aye.
Well, your Deirdre used to go, didn't she? You think she'll fancy it tonight?
To be honest with you, I doubt it. On the other hand, yeah. Might be a good idea. She's been a bit low lately. On your way, call in.
Oh, right, I will. Second honeymoon? Second Battle of Alamein, more like.
I didn't like that crack in the Rovers either.
What crack in the
Not
Rovers?
the honeymoon. Biggest non-event in history, you said.
Oh, did I?
I want to know what you mean.
Well, I'm not far wrong, am I? 48 hours you had, and you spent most of them falling over. We never even had an honeymoon.
That's not the idea you gave them.
What idea did I give them?
You know perfectly well.
Oh, don't be so touchy.
Touchy? I'm not touchy. Many a man will clip you around the ear hole for that crack, I'll tell him.
Oh, would they?
Yeah, and that thing, too. And don't mind the threat of dustbins. I'll waste some money.
You arm that frock and I'll take that poker and separate your ears.
I don't care. I want my tea on that table and I want it now.
Well, you know where it is, in the kitchen. I've had mine. I'm fed up running round skivvying for you, Stanley Ogden, and I tell you this, if I have to go on that second honeymoon on my own, it's divorce next stop.
Divorce first stop? What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about it. I'm telling you.
Well, I'd say the lady was comfortably ahead on points.
She has been for 30 years. Mind you, he could always connect, you know, with a lucky punch. It all adds to the interest.
Regular fixture, is it?
When I bought this shop, they came in as part of the fittings and goodwill.
As a plus or a minus?
plus, definitely. They're very good for trade. There's a lot of my customers would rather listen to that than go and watch wrestling at Bellevue. It's 25p if you want to stop, you know.
Oh, well, it'll have to be some other time, I'm afraid. No, actually, I just came in for a box of chocolates.
Who's the lucky lady?
Oh, not a lucky lady, really. Just that she's been very kind to me. Your neighbour, as a matter of fact, the lady who runs a business at the other end of the street.
Ah, thought it might be.
Oh, really?
Well, let's say you can't walk down this street without your comings and goings going on record.
I see. Well, in that case, perhaps you can tell me the sort of chocolate she likes.
Are you asking my advice?
I am. You were saying?
Well, I'd forget the chocolates. Hello, Al. I would, really.
Is she not fond?
Too fond, like us all. But I do happen to know that she got a very lovely box of chocolates from his son last week. Didn't she, Alf? Mrs. Walker?
Aye, kittens up box, everything.
You see, it's that bottom layer. It's nothing but temptation when you're watching your weight.
I see. Well, in that case, perhaps you could suggest an alternative.
Well, she's quite a connoisseur of wine.
Well, that's surely verging on Coles to Newcastle, isn't it?
Oh, no, I mean the decent stuff. I mean, she only sells cheap plonk. And no, she wouldn't mind me saying that.
Oh, no.
Well, what do you suggest? I'm entirely in your hands.
Well, there's a very good bottle of Italian wine here, isn't there, Alf? And then this French one. This has got a posh label. It's £2.37.
That sounds splendid.
Take it?
Yeah, I've tried that myself. It's very good. We've not been in trouble with greenfly since.
Don't be daft. This is vintage wine, this.
I'm sorry. You'll have to put it back on the shelf. I've not got it on me. Very embarrassing, isn't it?
Oh, I've done that many a time. Come out, we out, you know.
Well, I could take a cheque.
I've not even got my checkbook. I'm wearing the wrong suit.
Well, I can take Mrs. Walker's recommendation. Let's put it this way. You'll not be the only one settling up with me on Friday. There'll be plenty more.
That really is very civil of you. Thank you very much. And I'll settle with you before Friday. Good morning.
Bye.
Cheerio.
Goodbye.
Just imagine Annie Walker's face if I told her that a genuine Beaumont of Clitheroe had come into my shop and nailed it that I started us late.
Hey, don't ever tell her.
No.
Well, that's it then, isn't it, Albert? Well, go on, it's all you can do, isn't it?
Look, we'll have no barracking from spectators.
Thank you very much.
Lou's getting him in.
No, I better get him.
No, I'll get him. He'll not talk to me otherwise.
Oh,
Well, here I am.
Larger than life?
Only slightly, despite the diet, but still I'm trying. Now, if any gentleman can raise a nice smile and the price of a gin and tonic, I am ready for a good time. No takers.
I know just how you feel, kid. Gin and tea.
Only I can't afford it.
Hey, look, I'd have taken you out on town, you know, showing you the bright lights and everything. But it's be domino night.
Thank you, Sir Galahad.
It's for sake of something to do, really.
I don't fancy it, Reen.
Oh, you will when you get there. They're a funny lot, aren't they?
Come on, love, why not?
Because I don't feel like it, that's why not.
Well, it's when you don't feel like it that you enjoy it the most. You get sluggish and then you don't feel like anything.
I don't feel sluggish.
Just thought you'd enjoy it, that's all.
Everybody wants me to do something.
What's up, love? It's only your company I'm asking for. OK.
I'm sorry, Reen. I just don't feel up to it.
Well, it's up to you. Anyway, I'm best be getting off, though. I don't want to be running, not in this lot. I'm dressed, you see, for afterwards to keep warm. It's all right, this badminton lark, but after it you sweat, then you catch pneumonia, and on the way home you die.
Aye, I don't overdo it, you know.
Hey, she wants cheering up, doesn't she?
You could say.
Ta-da.
Ta-ra. You didn't have to snap her head off.
No.
You know you've not been out of this house for 2 days.
There's been nowhere in particular I felt like going.
Yeah, well, it's not doing you any good. Tomorrow you're coming with me. You're coming to work.
Oh, don't be daft, Ray.
I'm serious.
What about Tracy?
Bring her with you.
Oh, yeah, put the playpen up in the yard. Leonard loved that.
Len can lump it. Penny Road. He's not going to be there. Come on, what do you say?
All right, love. All right.
You know what I mean? I can't put it across, but you see my point, don't you?
Well, to tell you the truth, Stanley, no. I mean, why can't you go on a second honeymoon? It won't cost you anything.
Well, I mean, I'd feel a book, wouldn't I?
I don't see why.
Well, in those posh hotels, you know.
Five-star treatment doesn't suit you, eh?
Well, it's all right for them as likes it. You know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean, don't you?
Come on, Kenneth, we're waiting for you. I know you've
All
got a
that
fight.
malarkey, they put a bowl down and no spoon, then half a dozen forks and stand and watch you make a fool of yourself.
Yeah, you're right there, Stanley, about all that malarkey. That's just to put down the working class.
That's what I'm saying, isn't it?
Yes, there's a lot of truth in what you say there, Frederick.
Man, you the women folk, I mean, they're different. They take it seriously, you know. Now, Mrs. Walker, she's going out tonight. There'll be all them waiters doing that pommy flip bit and that, you know. She'll be chucked as little mint balls.
Hey, are you playing or not?
You've got to humour them, you see. I'm knocking anyway. You hear me?
Come on, you'll get that.
Hello, Cop. I'll tell you here.
Thank you. Hey, see that fella there?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
I bet he knows those forks.
Oh, no danger.
Charles, I'm so sorry. Bert shouldn't have left you standing here. Bert, why didn't you bring Mr. Beaumont through?
I thought you might have been in your underskirt.
And it's perfectly all right. It'd be a very strange man who objected to standing in this bar, especially with such pleasant company.
Nevertheless, come through for a glass of sherry.
So, Anne, I'm beginning to think you're ashamed of me. You trying to hide me from your friends.
I see.
Now, it was Cousin Edward who was the black sheep, you know. Yes, we do have a black sheep.
I don't remember Cousin Edward.
Very conveniently forgotten is Cousin Edward. He was hanged.
He was not hanged, Charles.
Well, he should have been. He defrauded people out of millions. Dollars, that is, not pounds. And even then, I think they exaggerate. Anyway, this is a long time ago in Canada. The Mounties got him in the end.
I think you're making all this up.
Come on, now introduce me to your friends.
Well, I think I can class myself as that, can't I, Annie? We have met. Alf Roberts.
Mr. Roberts is on the council.
Hey, don't drag up all my crimes, Annie.
He was the last mayor of Weatherfield. Never be another.
Really?
Annie was my murderess.
She was... You never mentioned this.
She wouldn't have taken long.
And this is Mr. Tetlock, our senior comedian.
I'm delighted to meet you, although I've got no claim to fame.
Oh, Vimy Ridge and the military medal, that's fame enough.
How do you do, Mr. Tatlock?
I still keep living.
You seem to be doing very well. Lancashire Fusiliers, was it?
Ah, that's right. You know, you settled an argument for us.
I have?
Yeah, you proved the Beaumonts of Clitheroe do exist. Some of us began to have doubts, you know. We thought you were like unicorns.
Horribly real, I'm afraid, and a great many of us.
And this is our local intellectual, Kenneth Barlow.
Oh, that just means that I can spell around here. How do you do?
Great pleasure to meet you.
And Fred, you have met.
Yes, indeed. Hello, Mum. But I've not been introduced to this lady.
Oh, well now, this is a very old friend. A very old friend indeed.
Steady on, Chuck.
Mrs. Howard, Charles.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Well, this is all extremely pleasant, but I think we get on a lot better with a drink in our hands.
No. Bert, please see that everybody has a drink.
Right.
Have you lost something?
No, it's quite all right.
What is it, Charles?
I've got a pair of glasses. I only use them for reading, and
A number of times I mislay my reading glasses. You see, if I wore them all the time, it would be all right. I'd wear them on a ribbon round my neck, but I don't. That reminds me of something I must see to. Will you excuse me?
So, Mrs. Walker, does the rounding clothes down?
Unfortunately, yes. Oh, and afterwards ask Mr. Beaumont to come through, will you, dear? Right. Oh, yes, and ask Ken and Alf as well. But nobody else.
I know what you mean.
Really, you don't say?
Oh, yes, born and bred.
Sure, I would never have taken you for a native of these parts, never.
What's happened to the Rovers, then? It's fallen down, or what?
It's all right, this.
It's rubbish.
Nobody in the Rovers, and he's doing a big act. She makes me sick.
I'll get down to the Flying Horse, then. You've got all your pals down there, all your cronies.
You got me last quid, haven't you?
There's your change on the mantelpiece. Don't never let it be said I stopped you drinking.
All right, all right. I'll go on this honeymoon if you want me.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me, one way or the other. I mean, what's the point of going? You've got about as much romance in you as, I don't know, Tommy Deakin's donkey.
Well, it's 30 years, isn't it?
You do realise it could be another 30 year and all?
I thought you were going to divorce me.
Don't suppose they'd let me. Don't suppose they'd want you let loose on the world without a keeper.
Are we going on the stew?
All right, Stanley. But just promise me one thing. Even if you can't work up any romance, at least keep sober this time, eh?
Now I'll show you something. Now, it's going back a few years, but do you know who that is on the left?
Hey, it's not...
It is, you know. Do you remember that?
Sissy and I and your mother's back gone. Wherever did you find it?
Oh, I've had it for years. One of the first snaps I ever took. Do you remember how that little box brownie I used to make everybody squint into the sun?
It's very obviously you, Mrs. Walker.
Do you really think so?
Oh, yes, definitely. He's right, you know.
Do you know, I'd rather like a copy.
Well, I'm sure I could get one done for you. Do you know, that seems to me only like yesterday.
Charles, I really think we ought to be going.
What? Oh, you're quite right, yeah.
I'll just see that everything's all right with Bet. One must keep the staff happy.
And I must get back to the Dominoes, otherwise I'll be in the doghouse.
Aye, me and all.
Mr.
Aye.
Okay. It's a bit embarrassing, but you're a very close friend of Anne's, aren't you?
Oh, aye.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say anything in there, but that business with my specs, I still haven't got my checkbook.
Oh, aye. Yes. Hey, would you like to borrow a couple of quid?
Well, it's only just in case we go somewhere where they won't accept credit cards. I mean, I've noticed one or two places around here don't. I mean, I could go back to the hotel, but...
Oh, no, I think I can float you. How much would you like?
20?
Well, I can manage 15.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Can you suggest anywhere we could eat?
Well, there's a lot of places you'll get out less than 15. Place in Sampson Street. What's it called? The Navona. Very good.
Sampson
Aye, mention my
Street.
name when you go in.
Okay.
Ready, Charles?
Oh, I shall be the envy of the town.
Oh.
Albert don't seem very chirpy. Why don't you let him win?
Yeah, I do, but he doesn't know it.
I heard that. You were lucky tonight, that's all.
Drained, it's a game of skill. Oh, good night, Mr. Walker.
Have a nice time.
If you mention my name, we'll make sure you get a good time.
I think you've clicked there, kid, even if you're only common.
I'd bet he was a bit of a lad in his day and all.
He's still a real live Beaumont, and she's that chuffed with him.
Charles has a secret to tell Annie Walker tomorrow night at 9. Next on Granada Plus, enjoy a joke or two from the cheeky chappies with the broad lapels and grins to match the comedians. That's after the break.